6시가 돼가는데 밥 먹기 전에 리딩으로 좀 목소리 조정, 오늘의 입력을 시작하겠습니다. Rethinking America, an advanced cultural reader. What characteristic does the author associate with private language? Add the heavy cream to the sorrel sauce and season with salt and pepper to taste. Abraham Lincoln. The Peace Democrats were mounting a strong campaign, and it wasn't even certain that Lincoln would maintain the support of his own party. Radical, fighting to put the students first. Now I had to prove that I could create schools that would educate all DC children. Concept and comments. Then this heat is sent back down to us, and the earth becomes warmer. On leading digital transformation. Analytics. Here the focus is on constantly sharpening the hard and soft skills of data scientists, engineers, architects, and other employees who are responsible for data analytics, data governance, and building the AI solution. Language acquisition made practical, a comprehensive how-to book for learning any language. Here are some ideas to help you continue going on. The best way to ensure continued progress is to make a daily practice of gaining some new knowledge by talking with new people about new things. Retrace your steps through the topics of this chapter, but focus on some aspect which is not yet part of your knowledge. Read a lot in the language and talk with people about what you read. The logic of life. The world is spiky. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. Backpack writing. Reflecting, arguing, informing, analyzing, evaluating. Behold the practical operation of this internal slave trade, the American slave trade, sustained by American politics and American religion. Spectrum Geography, Grade 4. Alaska is often divided by geographers into 5 separate regions inside the passage. Fishing, tourism, and forestry are important to this region. Many small towns, glaciers, and forests are found here. Alaska's state capital, Juneau, is also located here. Always on advertising, marketing, and media in an era of consumer control. How many prospective consumers called the 800 number and there were converted into customers? The pursuit of wow. Every person's guide to topsy-turvy times. Carrie's own form is at Exhibit A. Wander the whole of the Palo Alto-based playground for perpetually curious adults, and you'll see trip over is more likely models of lamps and chairs and movie special effects devices and blood analyzers. Some are of the cardboard and popsicle stick variety. Some are complex mechanical device. Baby science, how to talk with your baby before your baby can talk. That had certainly been our experience. No kidding about the bullying. 125 ready-to-use activities to help the kids manage anger, resolve conflicts, build empathy, and get along. Yeah, students will understand how to use think aloud to rehearse talking to someone you've been hurt by. Your money or your life. 9 steps to transforming your relationship with money and achieving financial independence. Review and make a list of all subcategories with the symbol or down arrow. Timely topics. Pair work the shortened condition. Below are 2 sets of question, statements, and answers. Student A will ask student B the question in the A list. Since both factors are the same, there are only 2 numbers, sentences in respect to the family. Yeah, midlife crisis at 30. How the stakes have changed for a new generation and what to do about it. And by the way, he was the guy who was supposed to be encouraging all of us. He was the career counselor. Baby and child care from pre-birth through the teen years. As you begin to increase a child's responsibility at home, your expectation will generally need to become more detailed. U.S. history for dummies. Learn 2. Grasp how slavery, war, and diplomacy shaped U.S. history. Open the book and find 10 important events that defined American culture. The Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. They are coming to America. Explore early civilization, meet Native Americans, and see how the development of the English colonies led to slavery and the American Revolution. There are more than 3,000 satellites currently orbiting the Earth, although more than 5,000 have been launched since the Russians launched the first one, Sputnik, in 1957. Harvard Business Review. When you hated your boss. Many boys used headhunters to add a few external candidates to the final list, if only for the sake of due diligence. Action finds flight. Fact book. Once the model pieces are pressed out, fold along all the dotted crease lines to form the correct shape. Perfect weight, the complete mind-body program for achieving and maintaining your ideal weight. Follow your old massage with a warm bath or shower using a mild soap. Science and technology. What is the gravity? Yeah, the impact from space is the obvious. The laws of human nature. A trial convicted Mary, but Elizabeth could not bring herself to sign the death warrant. Goodbye to shy, 85 shy bastards that work. Then continue. Do you have any special plans? That's your question. Don't worry, make money. Spiritual and practical ways to create abundance and more fun in your life. This must be one of the simplest, most easily implementable formula for the creation of abundance. 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, a true gift for the teenage soul. I decided I needed to change my whole environment and get away from it all. Becoming a family counselor, a bridge to family therapy. That's an arbitrary imperance, and one that you may perceive mom as doing. Do any of the other family members engage in the same distortion? Nail your low job interview, the essential guide to firm, clerkship, government, in-house, and lateral interviews. Likewise, if your interviewers push your buttons, never push back. Crash course: the American automobile industry's road from glory to the disaster. The boat he told fellow electors had conducted Wagner's annual performance review, but just 5 months earlier, so there was no reason to depart from procedure and go through that exercise again. Teaching self-defense in secondary physical education include unit plans, handouts, and assessment tools. Execute a release from the front choke position and move quickly away from the attacker. What women want: the global market turns female friendly. If you consider all the things that women do to abuse themselves in the name of looking good, they are legion. The Automatic Millionaire, a powerful one-step plan to live and finish it rich. Yeah, that's because homeowners will do just about anything to keep from losing their homes. Think and Grow Rich, the number one selling book of the century on personal wealth and lasting success. The Quran, the revealed word of God, was the closest thing to a miracle in the Muhammad's life. The Laws of Money, 5 timely secrets to get out and stay out of financial trouble. When I exaggerate about what I have, I do this because I want others to think that I am more of a success at my job than I think I actually am. What they don't teach you at Harvard Business School. Notes from a street smart executive. Many years ago, when we were negotiating Getty Players golf club contract with Shakespeare Golf. We wished to have the right to do a separate deal for golf grips. The intelligence trap. Why smart people make dumb mistakes. The spread of power between the groups was not equal. However, some were composed of high-flying executives who managed lots of people, while others were mostly made up of their subordinates. Harvard Business Review: Building a workforce for the future. How to ensure that your team can handle any change. With traditional appraisers, the pendulum had swung too far toward the former, more transactional view of performance, which became harder to support in an era of low inflation and tiny merit pay budget. The 10 Big Lies about America, combating destructive distortion about our nation. This is the first time in history we ever attacked any country that hadn't attacked us first. Communicate with competence. How to say it right the first time and every time. Tip 714. Agree with the criticism. If we are honest, most of us will have to admit from time to time that some negative feedback is accurate. Campus visit and college interviews. Why it mattered so much to see a college in person. Must reading for an informed college visit. Right to the source. What truly healthy habit would you suggest to your friends? Spotlight on the USA. Finally, you can go rafting on the Colorado River. Interactive science. Write the one thing you use that is made from recycled material. How to be indispensable. How to give a killer presentation. The people in your audience are already listening to you live. Why would they want to simultaneously watch your talking head clip on a screen? The 100 Simple Secrets of Healthy People. Keep burgers away with that-based products. It's a good conversation starter. People, Power, and Profit. Progressive Capitalism for an Age of Discontent. Part 2. Reconstructing American Politics and the Economics. The Way Forward. The chapters that followed show how, with this reconstructed democracy, we could reconstruct our economy to make it more competitive, more dynamic, more equal, so that a middle-class life would once again be attainable for most Americans. Top 30 Greatest Speeches in Britain. Foreign Secretary's Conservative Party Conference Speech. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Powerful Lesson in Personal Change. Destined to be the personal leadership handbook of the decade. And in a high trust culture, it's much more accurate. Marketing in Asia. Tiger Beer has an online community of beer and Tiger Beer drinkers. The second mountain, the quest for a moral life. They are not doing living, but they can pause on a winter's evening, lean their heads together, and stare into the fire. Native American life, the family, the hunt, pastime, and ceremonies. Thus, there were personal, fraternal, clan, tribal, and intertribal dances with the various components of social, comic, mimic, military, patriotic, invocative, mourning, and erotic action. Buying into the America, how foreign money is changing the face of our nation. Most of the testimony from government officials opposing the bill echoed the view that any attempt to ensure reciprocity would inevitably lead to an enormous, unwieldy and political bureaucracy. Synonym word to the list. A proper noun names a special person, a special place, or a special thing. Built to serve. How to drive the bottom line with the people first practice. While there may be no single reason for an organization's failure to grow properly or the destruction of value brought about by a merger, the lack of faithfulness to the original vision and the mission consistently destroys sustained success. Draw down. The most comprehensive plan ever proposed to reverse global warming. Transport, high-speed rail. Air travel is less likely to make the big gains in efficiency, however, maintaining HSR's passenger emission benefit as long as ridership ridership miss or exceed expectation. Skizz, why our families can uphold America. Brilliant, a scorching account of the American family today. Suarez, the oral joke, thinks that the first step in incorporating immigrant children into public school is to make the school choice process easier to understand. Easy true stories. I wash the dishes. How to survive in the USA. English for travelers and the newcomers. What you are really meant to do, a roadmap for reaching your unique potential. The reviewer expressed doubt as to whether the assistant product manager would ever become an outstanding product manager. Principles of language learning and the teaching. Are you satisfied with your progress in acquiring some of the discourse features, conversation rules, and the pragmatic convention of your foreign language? Interview magic, job interview secret from America's career and life coach. Quiz. Your primary goal in a telephone interview is to persuade the interviewer you are the right person for the job. Make a great first impression in telephone interviews. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. whatever you think. He did. It made worldwide news. Needless to say, he went up to start his own company, and the best ones too. The trusted advisor. Commit. Use language of joint exploration. What would it take for each of us to? Buried in ice, the mystery of a lost Arctic expedition. A huge canvas tent was erected over the deck so that the sailors would have a place to exercise. Building family, school, and community partnerships. You are a child care provider working with school-age children. Presentation skills 201. How to take it to the next level as a competent, engaging presenter. So in the future, when you get handed a completed slide deck, despair not. You can make it yours by hammering out a narrative one transition at a time and by injecting your own color. You can heal your life. Chapter 8, Building the New. The answers within me come to my awareness with ease. I don't want to be the fat. Yeah, what to expect the first of the year. Preserve the severed limb or digit. Leapfrogging. Harness the power of surprise for business breakthroughs. High power poses. The Cartoon Introduction to Economics. Volume 1. Microeconomics. In this payoff matrix, our incentive is to cooperate by choosing A. Play like a man, win like a woman. What men know about success that women need to learn. When former Congresswoman and then presidential candidate Pat cried on television, men smirked. Just like a woman, they said, smirked. Smirk. He sat against the brick facade of a quick and good cleaner. He was wrapped up in his blanket. Wearables in the workplace. Great leaders who make the mix of the work. 24 CEOs on creating diverse and inclusive organization. USA. Customs and institution. People who make a good living are a gruesome romp through the canon of human wickedness. He smiled up at the doctor and at Rolf, who was bending over the bed and buckling the straps. Coaching basketball for dummies. Communicate effectively with the parents. Ensure safety on the field. Encourage good sportsmanship. Teach offensive and defensive strategies. Develop your coaching philosophy, packed with numerous offensive and defensive drills. The tipping point, how little things can make a big difference. A wonderful page turner about a wonderfully upbeat study of that little understood phenomenon, the social epidemic. Perfect praise for performance at the review does not achieve agreed upon goals. Coastal California. Today, tourism and fishing keep the economy going. School Journal, Part 3, Number 1, 1978. And waves the ropes and the back. Adventure in Reading. Christopher calls up a vision not only of the face of Helen, but of the ineffable beauty of which she is the symbol. To develop reading comprehension. So if you like the clothes you are wearing and the fashion changes, don't worry about it. You probably couldn't catch up anyway. Always a winner, finding your competitive advantage in an up and down economy. If you learn how to become your own economic forecasters, as always a winner teaches, you will ensure that a recession will never again catch you or your organization by surprise. Yeah, financial shenanigans, how to detect accounting gimmicks and fraud in financial report. Similarly, Lucent obtained a boost to reported earnings for the 6 months ended March 1999 from a reduction in its allowance for doubtful accounts. Nonviolent communication, a language of life. Empathy lies in our ability to be present. What is essential is our ability to be present to what's really going on within, to the unique feelings and the needs a person is experiencing in that very moment. The upside of stress. Why stress is good for you and how to get good at it. Yeah, after 10 weeks, the teens who had volunteered showed improvements in cardiovascular health, including lower cholesterol and reduced levels of two markers of inflammation, interleukin 6 and C reactive protein. The control groups showed no change. The hidden forces that shape our decision. And why, you might ask, am I so easily giving up on this social science challenge? Essays that will get you into. The better your essay, the better your chance of acceptance by the college of your choice. However, in studying history, I get a chance to contemplate the ideologies and the nature of human beings. Americana. Historical spotlight in study and the songs. I explained the problems to anyone who would listen. Can't hurt me. Master your mind and defy the odds. We are the interfering and said executive director Eddie. We become a part of our students' lives. Getting up when you are feeling down, a woman's guide to overcoming and preventing depression. If, however, you are afraid to confront the object of your anger for valid and invalid reason, or if you avoid dealing directly with your anger for other reasons, you'll be left only with the other two options. Shaping the New You, 101 encouraging stories about dieting and fitness and finding what works for you. My friends are losers. The only competition of a wise man is with himself. The hamster revolution. Stop import glut and reclaim your life. He jotted the names down on a piece of paper. Comprehension, grade 6, reading for understanding. The fittest place for a bird like me is the topmost bough of a tall pine tree. Influencer, building your personal brand in the age of social media. The blueprint to manage and monetize your influence as a content creator. This is actually one of the most difficult parts of being an influencer. Work happy. What great bosses know. So take a deep breath. Imagine you are hearing the theme from Rocky, and let's tackle the top stop next. You are fired. The perfect guide to beating Donald Trump. No, we'll never know to an actual, factual, moral certainty whether Christine, Blasey Ford, and the Deborah are telling the truth. The Daily Laws. 366 Meditation on Power, Seduction, Mastery, Strategy, and Human Nature. Most people feel they have constricted roles in life, which makes them unhappy. TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking on Stage. American Studies on Anthology. Thus, the average citizen is constructed to dissolve difference and hierarchy, all of which is reconciled in this statistical figure of equality. The dollar melted down. Only a year or so before that, I had come upon an image from the period of the Great German Inflation that made a deep and lasting impression on me. The curve. The pair first met in 1941 when they were both working on the variety circuit. And this depression now, winner of the Nobel Prize in Economics. As this chapter was being written, American Airlines voluntarily entered bankruptcy to get out of costly union contracts. Patio. There's going to be people that aren't happy about this, his senior advisor, Marty, said, playing out the conservative response should Pence stick with his plan to not meddle with the count. The third industrial revolution. The answer was yes. cultural studies. Mana Wahan theory, creating space for Maori women series. Hitmakers, the science of popularity in an age of distraction. So, how do you get people to talk? Use your brain to change your age. Secret to look, feel, and think younger every day. Bob struggled with the oppositional and impulsive behavior as a teenager and still at age 48 got stuck on negative thought and had trouble controlling her impulse, especially in raising her own teenagers. How rich countries got rich and why poor countries stay poor. The toolbox of standard textbook economics does not contain tools to record the fact that at any time there are only a few industries behaving as shoe production did at the end of the 1800s, as the car production did 75 years later, and as the production of mobile phones does now. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple ways to keep the little things from taking over your life. If you attend a gathering and listen to all the criticism that is typically levied against others, and then go home and consider how much good all that criticism actually does to make our world a better place, you'll probably come up with the same answer that I do, 0. Guide to Healing with Love. I can build a clinic too. Taste the relish to be found in competition, in having put forth the best within you. Turn the ship around, a true story of turning followers into leaders. Here is a short list of empowered phrases that active doers use. I intend to. I plan on. I will. We will. Profiting from the world's economic crisis. As you can see in Figure 9, the gap of expenditures over revenues was huge and quite variable. Whatever you think, that is unreasonable. 101 ways to conduct biddings with charm and savvy. Biddings etiquette. Touch a piece of paper only once. Only once. Yeah, what Americans really wanted really. The truth about our hopes, dreams, and fears. No wonder Americans don't have much trust and confidence in corporate America today and really don't like Fortune 500 CEOs from the survey. Generally speaking, how much trust and confidence do you have in corporate America today? Rush, why you need and love the rat race. Think you need to go on vacation? Think again. 12.5 Principles of Sales Greatness. How to make sales forever. Ask a power question to create a buying atmosphere, not a selling one. Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt. There is no country that possessed so many wonders, nor any that had such a number of works that defy Description. When versus market economics are explained plain and simple. I mean, we'll commit to insuring the loans so that if the borrowers default, we'll pay you. Seducing the boys club. Uncensored tactics from a woman at the top. He had become indispensable to the company, even though he never even graduated from high school. Now that's clout. The future started now. Expert insight into the future of business, technology, and society. We can start working on the human debt and stop working in the same way we have done since the Industrial Revolution. We wish we had their hair and they had something awful instead, like maybe our hair. That would teach them. A gift to my children, a father's lesson for life and investing. Two ways of thinking. The former is called induction, proceedings from a specific conclusion to more general observation, and the latter deduction, proceeding from general evidence to a specific truth. American-Korean contrast, patterns and expectation in the U.S. and Korea. Education is extremely important to Koreans as level of education often represents one's hierarchical level in society. Reading comprehension. At last flight tests were performed. The 12 keys to high topper of the scores. Use this space for essay notes only. Write the final version of your essay on the next 200 pages. Weaving it together. Give yourself or the group a limited amount of time. The TV Roach, just for fun. In a small town, the sheriff was also the vet. 11. Even happier. A gratitude journal for daily joy and lasting fulfillment. This week I'm grateful for buy it, rent it, profit. Make money as a landlord in any real estate market. What do I do when my tenants break the rules? The most common tenants issue and how to solve them. How to survive your freshman year by hundreds of college students who did, and some things to avoid from a few drops of who didn't. This book proves that all of us are smarter than one of us. For right now, I feel I can make great contribution to the world's children. When markets collide, investment strategies for the age of global economic change targets a new secular destination. Utilize the right instruments. High performance habits. How extraordinary people become that way. To gain influence with others. Teach them how to think about themselves, others, and the world. Challenge them to develop their character, connection, and contribution, and role model the values you wish to see them embody. Prisoners of Geography, 10 maps that explain everything about the world. They ruled this space accordingly, dividing it into 3 administrative regions, the Mosul, Baghdad, and Basra. Places to know in the USA, an interactive ESL reader. There are no dinosaurs in the world today. Perfect praises for customer service. The situation. When a customer demands to speak to the person in charge. Simple steps, 10 things you can do to create an exceptional life. Now you might wonder, why would you want to take a step like that? Yeah, child behavior. Want to do the beforehand. What to do beforehand to prevent jealousy of the new the baby. Wine for Dummies. The #1 wine book now updated. Trial and error have gradually enabled them to discover the less obvious location, many of them cooler and less accessible areas that offer the opportunity to make truly distinctive wines. Speechless Tales of a White House Survivor. I figured out that she'd interrupted the interview at a designated time in case Rumsfeld wanted to get rid of me. Apparently he didn't. The college application essay. Describe a character in fiction, a historical figure, or a creative work, as in art, music, science, etc., that has had an influence on you, and explain that influence. Good jobs making work better for everyone. Again, the benefits of unionization for low-wage workers are very substantial. Power listening, mastering the most critical bidding skill of all. These questions differ from those in the other drawers in one fundamental way. They are not questions I ask of my CP, but they are questions I ask of myself. Absence of mind. For example, consider poor Pinea Gage, the railroad worker famous for the accident he suffered and survived more than 150 years ago, an explosion that sent a large iron rod through his skull. He's Steve Jobs. Now, why is that important? Reading problems, assessment, and teaching strategies. In some cases, language problems are severe enough to be noticed early, and they affect beginning reading skills. Can you offer wholehearted support for the M's critique of a mother's behavior, or are there points with which you disagree? How to simplify your life. 7 practical steps to letting go of your burden and living a happier life. Simplifying idea 24. Let go of anger. Step 5 of your life pyramid. Simplify your relationship. Yeah, the Rich and Famous Money Book, Investment Strategies of Leading Celebrities. I buy into that. I don't see myself retiring ever. I see myself always working at something. The carrot principle, how the best managers use recognition to engage their people, retain talent, and accelerate performance. I keep a journal of who I recognize. In a healthy culture, you celebrate. You have a lot of success. The Lean Startup, how constant innovation creates radically successful business. Those early conversations were designed to answer this leap-of-faith question. Do people find it frustrating to pay the bill by hand? Principles of language learning and the teaching. Make a list of words, phrases, or language rules in your foreign language. That a good example of the Wolffian hypothesis. Leading the way, the 7 skills to engage, inspire, and motivate. You had inadvertently accepted the Queen's shilling and consequently been legally enrolled in Her Majesty's Navy. Goliath's revenge. Use the drive factors in Figure 8 as a checklist when you are assembling your talent into action team around your most important big one and little one innovators. Start now, get perfect later. Yeah, then impose deadline and a strong reason to hit those challenging targets. The optimal diet recipe to reverse and prevent obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. Add finely diced potatoes, carrots, onion, and seasonings. How to create a mind, a secret of human soul to rebuild. Another limitation of Jeopardy game is that the answers are generally brief. It does not, for example, pose a question of the sort that asks contestants to name the 5 primary scenes of A Tale of Two Cities. Find Your Happiness 101 inspirational stories about finding your purpose, passion, and joy. Sometimes good fortune comes to us when we need it the most and least expected it. The American Past, a survey of the American history, Volume 2, since 1865. When he was offered the Democratic nomination for governor of New Jersey, he quit academic life. The techniques of writing minute, narrative minute. Having seen the minimum requirements, the next minute to examine is the maximum possible, the narrative minute. Ahead of the curve, 2 years at Harvard Business School. The MBA students thought the school's reaction excessive and self-righteous. why she buys the new strategy for reaching the world's most powerful consumers. Yeah, well, what did he say? What did he say? The how of happiness, a new approach to getting the life you want. Sanctifying day-to-day objects, experience, and struggle take a great deal of practice, but it's at the heart of spirituality and it's the reward. 아, 진짜 이건